this night where we have honored Craig Sager.
With our own style.
With Sager style. You got the ascot. Is the ascot? Could the ascot make more than one appearance by the Jet?
I might.
You carried it off, man.
I think I might do it also.
Roland, shout out to my boy Roland. That's something you heard.
He's not the only person in the world that ever did it.
First of all, you ain't never wore an ascot before.
Because it's a style show with Craig Sager, bro.
Shaq would like to say something.
I know we've been talking about Craig and Jimmy V, but to everybody out there that's fighting cancer, I just want to say keep fighting, stay strong, and we love you here at TNT.
You know what? It is something I want to say earlier, and I forgot to say. You know how much we love and respect you. We actually forget that you battled cancer
and beat it.
And we talk about everybody else so often.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. But man, we forget about it because you beat it, and you know so many people don't beat it. But man, we're proud and honored to work with you. And shout out to you and all the doctors and people who helped you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, back in 2006, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
It was a big inspiration for sure.
But I appreciate that. And you know what?
My dad beat it as well.
It's good to be a survivor.
Yes.
I will say that. Highlights on this night. You know where we're going to start? The champs taking on.
This was a great basketball record. This was a great basketball game.
Yeah.
And this is what I call a superstar game. These two superstars went at each other.
Raptors shot 70%.
Oh, good pass.
Got a pass.
First quarter.
I mean, either
they were up 18.
Either the number 1 or the number 4 best player.
Oh, man.
Somewhere in the top 20.
Either the number 1 or number 4 guy had 50.
Kyle Lowry.
But Chuck, you asked me who's the best in the second in that conference.
Hold on. Let's not get sidetracked by that because this really is a good game. 67-58 at the half.
It's not my fault y'all are irrational.
Durant for the dunk and then Durant with the jumper. Durant is going to have a huge night. Again, Golden State playing without Steph and without Draymond Green.
So I guess Steph is coming back Saturday
against the Pistons.
The pacemaker.
Kawhi says, you score, I can score too. Damn. Kawhi is giving them what he does, what I don't think people understand. When you're a great player, you give your team a supreme confidence.
Without question. And he green there for the 10-point lead, but here comes Golden State again.
Able to whip by Seattle.
It's a 4-point game, and now
this was the best game I've seen all year. Give me that. Get right in your
Kawhi over Durant.
Take back at him.
And then this is a pretty tough jumper right here by Kyle Lowry for 3 right in front of the Warriors bench.
Don't look at him, Kyle.
Yeah, you do.
Game's not over. Durant.
Oh, right back at you. Oh, my God.
Really?
No, this one was crazy.
It's just a hell of a shot. That's just better.
Give me that.
Tied at 119.
You can't play better defense than that either.
So Toronto win this game in regulation?
Yes, they can.
Well, did they?
No, they can.
Remember they?
Oh, come on, you got it. You got it. Jump into him.
Another second.
No, man, jump into him. Go to the line.
The shot off.
Great help defense by Looney.
Yeah. Let's go to overtime.
Alex McKechnie.
Nick Nurse saying, okay, we're going to play OT. Both teams 0-1 in OT this year.
So somebody had to win.
I cannot wait to get to these. Bang, bang. So, shout out to my girl Chris Simpson and my boy Rod Black.
Look at Durant.
Albino.
And Superfan.
And Carlos O'Boy.
Game tied again at 123.
Boy, Carlos. You think you're going to be able to find a little John up there, Shaq? Oh, I sure am.
Danny Green.
Bang.
Again.
He played great blue mist.
Wow.
Danny Green's have been a quiet addition. People talk about Kawhi. Oh, give me that pickup.
Yeah.
Pitbull. Oh, great play.
His ability to, find people this year has been...
Turnover there, too, by Iguodala, I know, on the travel.
Elliott didn't run like that tonight.
And Toronto
lost the bet, I guess. Had to give up the jersey.
Oh, my goodness.
Lost the bet.
Jesus. What a cadaver.
What?
Let's get it. Yeah, we can't beat that dude in Golden State. A half meal wouldn't hurt the brother.
Got 51, man.
I got back. Ooh, man, he a happy meal.
He had 51 points.
He would have had 55. He had a hamburger. Damn. Hey, Kenny, remember when Bill Cosby was sitting in Poitier when they advertised picture? I really don't think that's a good subject right now, Shaq.
Great analogy.
Shaq, let that one go.
130.
No, man, when they hit the time, let that one go, man.
131 to 128, the final. Kawhi, by the way. Kawhi had 37, and he talked to Kristen Ledlow.
Kawhi, you avoided a Warriors comeback in overtime. You led a balanced offensive effort, controlled the pace. What gave your team the advantage down the stretch?
We made shots. We just stuck in it, kept our energy up, and made stops on the defense end as well.
For those of us who are unable to suit up in the NBA, what are those battles with Kevin Durant like?
They're fun, very tough. You know, you've seen the shots he made to push it to overtime. He's an incredible player.
As you sit on top of the league standings, how much stock do you put in, though it is November, defeating the defending champions on your home floor?
It's just a building point for us. They're still the champions. Just a regular season game. It's not even December yet. We just got to just keep pushing and try to get better.
Many have been surprised by how quickly this Raptors team has so confidently set on top of the league. What is it about this team that's working so well so fast?
I think we're just buying in. Obviously, starting from our coach, Nick, just letting us go out there and play freely. And then obviously Kyle plays a big role as well. Him being here for the last 6 or 7 years, him knowing the system really have helped me out. And he's pushing the pace for us out there.
You've done a great job. Congrats, Kawhi.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
Hennessy never stop, never settle. So Durant with his 51 tonight. So the Warriors this season have 3 guys who have scored at least 50. And here's the other time it happened, 61-62 Lakers, when Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, and Rudy LaRusso all
worked that. Tell you what.
You know what?
What's up, Rudy?
Rudy was a 5-time All-Star. And see if you guys can tell me, what was Rudy LaRusso's nickname?
Well, Mustard can't be good.
I'm going to call him Brutus.
I'm going with Honey Boy.
Honey Boy.
I'm going to Brutus. Is that Tim Kiley in the back?
Our producer? That's our producer?
It is.
Kiley in the back.
He looks like Brutus.
What is he, Ernie? Honey Boy, isn't it?
He was known by all 5 of those nicknames.
Oh.
Yes, he was, according to...
Well, listen, I like 4 of those. You can't be calling people musty.
Basketball.
Come on, man. You can't be calling people musty.
I call you Musty every week.
Come on, man.
That's your nickname, too?
Hey, that Musty's not a good nickname.
That's your nickname. Yours is Musty.
Hey, here come Musty. We smell him before we see him. Come on, man. Musty.
But you like Honey Boy? You like that one?
Honey Boy better than Musty.
Yeah, I'd rather be called
You can be like sweet, like Honey Boy. Yeah. Like that boy sweet. You've heard that term before. But I'm talking about, you
can't go. You can't. Hey, no. I only want to wait. One way to go with Musty. Only one way to go with it.
Sweet. Hey, Ernie, Elgin Baylor, one of 2 great people, I think in the NBA history, he's the greatest player never to win the NBA championship.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Way to bring it back to center. That was really nice.
Thank you, Musty.
So this seemed, with Golden State, without without Curry, and without Draymond Green, this is kind of a no-lose situation in this when you look at this possible finals meeting and say, hey, look, Golden State lost that game in Toronto. Yeah, but Curry didn't play and Draymond didn't play. If they had won that game...
No, but this was a game for Toronto.
If they had won that game over Toronto in their gym without those guys...
It wasn't. Ernie, when you play certain games, it ain't about that team. It's about your team. Nobody believes in the Toronto Raptors. Even last year when I was on that bandwagon, Shaq ended up being right. He says, I'm not riding with those guys. They're not good enough. They're different with Kawhi. This was a game they had to win from a psychological standpoint. I truly believe that.
That's what I was saying.
Well, I think overall, though, when you don't, obviously without Steph Curry, he is the person who sets the pace that no one can play at. And we talked about what Steve Nash, I've said this before, what Steve Nash has done. When you play against the Phoenix Suns, you have to play fast, had to play fast. When you play against Jason Kidd, you had to play fast to beat them. When you play against the Golden State Warriors, right now you don't have to play fast because you can slow them down at times, and that's why they struggle. With him in the game, he is the ultimate pace setter. He's the ultimate. That is part of the fifth thing of being a superstar, that leadership and creating a pace that your team can play and function at.
And I like the way Toronto was playing, but let's not forget, last year they had the best record in the Eastern Conference, and they let us down in the playoffs. I'm not riding until I see them do something.
I'm all in. Okay, I told you. I'm all in.
I like them. I'm glad they're in first. But
yeah. They're different. They're different this year, Shaq, only because of the versatility. Because when they were,
but the versatility got to step up.
No, before like they're bigs who don't shoot.
Versatility has to step up and play. They had a little bit of versatility last year.
But no, different. They were a 2-point shooting team last year.
I'm happy for them.
As great as they were, they could only beat you by the 2. But what Kawhi has done, they could beat you in between, they could post you, and they could shoot the 3 to beat you. They're a different basketball team.
But the one thing he does, Shaq, and I said this earlier, when you have a superstar, we have that guy. Very few teams have that.
Popeye with the spinach. He gives you spinach.
He gives you that confidence that spreads around like, oh, we have one of those too. Like tonight, when Durant was going for 50, Kawhi didn't get 50, but he got 40. When you have one of those guys, it makes those other guys pop out their chest.
No question.
Excellent point, Musty. We have it's Jack. Musty. Let's go to game 2 of our double dip.
What the hell is that?
De'Aaron Fox and Tobias Harris.
I love Tobias Harris, man. That's my man, Montrezl Harrell.
So there goes Tobias Harris, their leading scorer for the team with the best record in the Western Conference.
It's early. Hey, man.
Avery Bradley was shooting 19% from 3 coming into this game, but he found the range in this one.
Clippers move that ball pretty good.
Yes, they do.
Really good.
Lou didn't have a huge night scoring, but he got there, and then
the bags.
Marvin Bagley is a versatile player. Didn't get to show it a lot tonight, but he's got a good game.
I think these Sacramento Kings, though, man, they big men got to work on their game.
So, yeah, I think defensively as well.
No, they suck defensively. Yeah, but I'm talking about offensively. It's either lob, dunk. I like to see them get some post moves. Hire a big guy like a Kevin Garnett who worked with players and things like that.
Guys don't post so much.
71-68 at the half.
Yeah, Shaq, everybody can't stand on the perimeter.
But everybody is, Chucky, huh?
Willie Cauley-Stein.
SLD.
Get off me, little fella. Oh, there you go. Get him off you, Tobias.
Yeah, 28 on the night.
And that's all you see.
That's all you see.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. At times, you need this. Yeah, but not the good teams. No, the good teams will slow it down and put it in that post.
Montrezl Harrell for you there, and then Patrick Beverly and one.
Patrick Beverly. You see him coming. Don't grab him.
Let him go.
He's on the list.
He's on the list.
Yep.
Who else is Bogan Bogdanovic?
Oh, they got 2 guys on the list.
At 26.
Kenyon Martin.
Yeah. Oh, Harold's on the list.
I don't know. I love him, but he don't look like a guy.
Here's Harrell again.
Played a lot of energy.
He played with great energy. I love that kid.
Remind me of Kenneth Fareed.
And then it's Gallinari.
Yes, my man.
Put the finishing touch on this one.
The Clippers are playing great. I don't mean no disrespect.
You did. You mean no disrespect that a number 1 team in the West and you saying they're not going to make the playoffs. That is disrespect at its finest.
That's not disrespect.
That is the ultimate definition of disrespect. You're the best team in the West and you won't make the playoff.
We have only played 20-some games.
But you're the best team in the West. You won't make the playoff. That is the ultimate definition.
There are 2 losses for being 6. So stop it.
Okay, but
Yeah, they are, Kenny.
2 losses ahead of, and they're number 1.
Yeah, but they're 2 losses from being 6th.
But they're number 1, and you're saying they're not.
And I mean no disrespect.
That is disrespect.
No, disrespect when I slap the hell out of you.
You must.
What if I take that?
Musty butt better not be swinging over there with
listen, Stinky. What if I beat you to death with that Georgia Bulldog helmet?
Honey boy, you better stay over there, honey boy.
You mean Honey Bun, boy.
Honey Bun boy.
133, 121 final. Again, that's 12 straight wins at Sacramento. An underdog has researched it, and the folks at Elias coming back. The Lakers are the only other team to beat them 12 straight, and that was from 1983 to 88.
Can we put that list up again on those nicknames?
Yeah, you want to see it?
Because I think we need to each
figure out who would be who in
our group.
In our group.
Okay, 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
I'm Deuce.
See, Shaq, you'd be the Ivy Leaguer with muscles.
Yep. I'd be Deuce.
Ernie, you'd be Deuce.
Yeah, Deuce.
Okay.
Who'd be Deuce? I'd be Deuce because I'm out of here every time when you're trying to guard me. You'd be like Deuce.
Okay. I'll take Brutus.
No, you
Ernie, you definitely.
That leaves me Honey Boy or Musty, and I'd rather not go to either one of them.
I think you might be Honey Boy, Ernie. You are
Honey Boy. Ernie, seriously, you would be a Honey Boy, though.
You're a sweet man.
What are you talking? You like just a nice guy.
You're a sweet man.
You're a sweet man.
Exactly how that's taken. De'Aaron Fox, by the way. I like it when guys who are young in the league, early in their careers, have an appreciation for the organizations they play for, or for the guys who made it possible when they got there. And that was obvious when De'Aaron Fox talked to Allie LaForce.
Who were your top 5 when it comes to Kings point guards all time?
Well, of course, Oscar Robinson, Jason Williams, Mike Bibby, Tiny Archibald. I know they weren't in Sacramento, but I'm going to go still part of the Kings organization. And one of my favorite, Rajon Rondo.
Okay, a little Spud Webb, maybe?
I mean, I love Spud, but I would say those 5 I like the most. But, yeah, definitely Spud Webb. I saw how big his legs are. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Anyone else you can think of? Anyone at all?
6. Me.
Oh, there you go.
7. All right. That's about it. That's all I can think about.
So, any TNT broadcasters or anyone that rings a bell that you've seen in the TNT studio?
TNT? No.
No, not really?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess... You know what, we're going to have to give him a pass on this one, because what year were you born?
97.
I think Kenny played in the late 80s. Kenny Smith? Did Kenny Smith at all?
I didn't even know that. I can honestly tell you I didn't know that.
Oh, see, I thought they were setting him up. And they weren't.
First of all, Kenny, we all remember Kenny from the Rockets.
Tiny Archibald. I was impressed.
We rattled those off.
He rattled them all. I was impressed. But I'm not impressed that you didn't know I played there. I'm definitely not impressed.
Oh, so Kenny, question. White chocolate should have been on that list?
Jason Williams?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Jason Williams. Yeah, I think he said Jason Williams might be.
Oh, he did say
Jason Williams.
Okay, got it.
And Tiny Archibald is the all-time king. He's the best point guard. Him and Oscar Robinson are the all-time.
Tiny, your guy growing up, man.
No question, that was my favorite player. Only player to lead the league in assists and scoring in the same year.
And a great person.
Can I give a shout-out before we go on?
Yeah.
Shout-out. Oh, Ernie be like, hey, we got to give a shout-out, Shaq, to our guy, man. It's his birthday. DJ Khaled's birthday.
Oh, DJ Khaled, what up?
Got to give a shout-out to him, man.
Can I get